Alright, now I'm in Song of Solomon. This is called the Song of Songs. And a lot of people take this as Christ's love towards the church, towards his children. For he's the groom and the church is the bride and all that. Song of Solomon is a love story between a Shulamite woman to Solomon. She loved the king and all this. And it's a little love story, and it's going back and forth. Kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for our love is better than wine. But the thing that makes me kind of like, this ain't no representation of Christ's love toward us. I mean, he gave his life for us. But it says, a bundle of myrrh is my well-beloved to me. He shall lie all night betwixt my breasts. Okay, I kind of take that like a little freaky between Christ's relationship with us. I mean, it says, thy two breasts are like two young roes that are twins, which feed among the lilies. A fountain of gardens, a well of living waters and streams from Lebanon. My beloved put his hand by the hole of the door, and my bowels were moved for him. I rose up to open to my beloved, and my hands dropped with myrrh, and my fingers with sweet-smelling myrrh upon the handles of the lock. My beloved is gone down into his garden, to the beds of spices, to feed in the gardens, and to gather lilies. Thy navel is like a round goblet which wanteth not liquor. Thy belly is like an heap of wheat set about with lilies. Thy breasts are like two young roes that are twins. I take it as it's just basically a historical book. One of Solomon's, or one of the ladies' love letters to Solomon, or his love letter to them, out of one of his 700 wives and 300 concubines. I mean, that dude had stamina, and I'm sure he was the only man in the world that had the biggest headache from having 700 wives and 300 concubines. And he probably slept a lot, because I guarantee you the dude didn't have no stamina. I'm just being real talk. I mean, I'm a human being, I'm being real talk, and that's what I get. But out of this book, if you read it, I mean, there's good out of it, because you can look at it and try to build the standards of your marriage to your spouse upon this book. Because she longed to be with Solomon, and she chased after him. I mean, she wanted him, and she loved him, and he loved her, and it was spicy, and a flame was going on in their relationship. And a lot of marriages today lack the flame and spicing it up. They just take each other for granted, and that's why the divorce rate's so high. I mean, a lot of people look at the church's divorce rate and they say, well, if you go same sex and blah 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 and this and that, and they had a new special and the same-sex couple was talking about marriage. They ain't married. It's between man and woman for marriage, according to the Bible. But, it helps if you read this, to encourage you to spice up your relationship with your wife and to love your wife or your husband and, to make your marriage strong and, and just to not take each other for granted. I'm still, and honestly, my opinion for me is I'm still kind of mixed up on the whole same-sex marriage and relationships and stuff. Cause growing up, church was against it. They hated it. But like I say, it's not by works you're saved, it's through faith. By grace through faith. So, but Song of Solomon, if your relationship's not good, you're having marital problems, read Song of Solomon. I mean, and try to find a way to get that flame started back up in your relationship with your spouse, and love them and take care of them, and them take care of you. Work together. The man's not the head and the woman's the slave, and the woman's not the head and the man's the slave. It takes two to tango. And it does take two to tango. It takes two to make a marriage work, to raise your kids right, and to make a difference. And I believe, reading Song of Solomon will make a difference between your relationship And, and make you remember how y'all felt when you first met each other, how you couldn't wait to be with each other and be around each other and to talk to each other, just to hear each other's voice, to see each other and look at each other in the eye, and you get the heart pounding fast, and you melt looking in their eyes, and just to touch them, you get weak in the knees, and your heart beats fast, and you can't barely breathe. It's good to spice up your relationship with your spouse, and, because that's your spouse. You married for a reason. When you think about it, people do things and they follow the heart a lot of times, but God directs their steps. So people get in certain positions for a reason. I mean, could we get in a position because we chose to be in a position we're in, or did God allow us to be in a position that we're in and make the choice that we made? So the spouse that you're married to, could have been a mistake you married them, maybe not. Maybe you're the mistake for taking them for granted and not appreciating them, and not working on your marriage. I mean, you do got a bad divorce rate. People don't have that commitment anymore, and they don't work together. They'd rather just beat each other down and fight to survive and let everybody else fall by the wayside and stuff. But that Song of Solomon, I'm probably gonna take me a week or two break to get my mind right, get my spirit right, because I'll be getting into the books of the prophets, and got a pretty good bit there, and it'll be deep, and I know I'll be going crazy trying to figure a lot of the stuff out and thinking about the stuff. I just pray that the Spirit will guide me through this, and open my eyes mainly, and and share it with you as my eyes are open, and maybe your eyes will be open. And like I say, I want people to give me feedback. I want people to say something that they get out of the Bible, and to learn together to get closer to God rather than disagree and tear each other down. Churches became a place, it's supposed to be a city of refuge. Church is supposed to be a place of refuge where you get away from your daily problems, where you get away from your daily stress, your aggravation, your temptations, your downfalls. You turn to get away from it. That church of refuge is the place of your protection. But now it's a church of abuse, a building of abuse. A building full of bastards. They beat you down and judge you, and they look down and make you feel worse than you already are. And church is supposed to be a place of refuge, a place of protection, to where you get encouraged to be able to make it another week, and then go back and get encouraged again to endure for another week. And it's bad. And only God can help us all, because we're all messed up. We all need help. The preachers need help. The deacons need help. The singers need help. The Christians need help. The one that sits on the very back pew that don't even talk, looks like a punk, they need help. The one that sits on the front acting all holy and righteous and act like the breath don't stink, they need help. And they probably need a tic-tac. We all need help. But that's Song of Solomon. And I hope everybody enjoyed it and get something out of it. And I'll get myself together and get ready for the books of the prophets, that we may reveal what they are speaking about, and the times that the prophets were prophesying, and what kingdom they was in, who the king was at that time, so we kind of get a feel for what time period it was happening in, that was going on around them. And basically that's about it. But right now Persia's ruling. Well, not during the Song of Solomon and Proverbs and Psalms and all that, but basically at the end, Nehemiah built up Jerusalem, Ezra built the temple. Some other peoples up there in the northern tribes, they're not of Israel, but the lands of Israel, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Issachar, and all that. Those are the people there led by priests, so they could fear the Lord, so they wouldn't get killed by all the animals. And then there's certain remnants of Judah back in Jerusalem. They built the city up and built the temple, and was condemned for marrying into the other women because they made them fall, and because of Solomon fell and stuff. So, and then Esther was the queen of Persia, and the man tried to kill all the Jews out, and she saved Israel and the tribe of Judah and the Israelites from their hand. So she's the queen of Persia. Mordecai was a great ruler in Persia, and now you got some remnant of Judah in Jerusalem with a city built and a temple built, just doing their thing under the rule of Persia. So that's where they're at now, according to the Bible. And then now we'll be into the books of the prophets. Like I'll probably explain again where they're at in that time, and then back to the prophets. But that's Song of Solomon, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. And we're moving forward and trying to make it day to day just like everybody else is. And that's the main thing. And we know our purpose in life now is to glorify God and to praise God. And that's the number one thing. That's our purpose, because He created us and gave us everything we've got. We've got to enjoy our blessings that He gave us, that we've worked for. He didn't just give us blessings because He wanted to. He gave them to us because we worked for them. The fruit of our labor is our blessing. You know, His blood and His sacrifice is our blessing. But the fruit of our labor is our blessing from God. So amen to that. So you see people talking about, God's going to bless me. God, give me this. Bless me with that. Bless me with that. Get out there and work for your blessing, buddy. He you know, let you be no freeloader on Him. He ain't a genie. He ain't going to just pop out your wish is my command. You know, He'll bless you with people you meet and your friends. And He'll bless you with a job where you can work and get what you want and what you need to survive in this earth. But hope everybody has a good night, good rest of the week, and we'll jump on to the prophets in a couple days.